First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
Jay is on the line right now, our flight attendant expert here. Jay, good morning. Welcome to the Weeds. That's where we are right now.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to tell you what's interesting. When I first got hired again in 2002 with Allegheny, flew into Binghamton, New York. Now, that airport is above the city. On Mother's Day, there was 3 inches of snow on the ground.
Yeah, there were all those. It seems like whenever there's a May storm, we always attach it to Mother's Day, right?
Very interesting. Now, I called in to let you know, for those people who are traveling out of Syracuse, they are doing maintenance on the long runway. Yesterday, apparently, Syracuse Airport was fogged in. Flights did not get in. The flight from Atlanta was diverted to Detroit. My flight that was supposed to leave at 6:47 this morning to JFK is not leaving till 10:30. The flight attendants for the flight showed up. Crew scheduling never told them that the airplane isn't here. So, again, for all those central New Yorkers, the Utica area, double, triple check when you start flying out of Syracuse because maintenance is on that long runway. And if there's any sort of weather that you're talking about, you're going to have delays and cancellations.
Interesting. You know, we had a trip this summer that we had planned. It was an overseas trip, and that has been postponed and moved to next year for the second time.
I was at Kennedy a couple weeks ago. In fact, I messaged you. I was at the gate for Paris, and the only way you're getting to Paris now is if you're a student or you have business verified with letters. So when you land or take off from JFK, you've got to get those documents.
Crazy, right? I mean, because the virus is a real problem over there. They're still they have low vaccination numbers, even in France.
They will not let you in, Bill, and it is very, very interesting because when we've been talking, I thought maybe this summer you had a shot.
No shot.
It's not happening now. No, you've got to be either on business, like I say, or a student, and.
Now, domestic flights, for instance, a lot of people flying to Myrtle Beach, flying to Florida. That is all going on right now, right?
Yes, and I'm going to tell you something interesting. Friday, I flew from Atlanta to Key West. You know, our plane has 76 passengers. I had 55 passengers. And get a load of this, from Key West to New York City Friday night, 15 passengers.
Wow.
There's more people still flying into Syracuse, New York than to Key West.
How about that? What are they thinking?
It is mind-boggling. I barely get home. I can no problem non-rev to Key West, Florida. I can't. I'm on pins and needles trying to get home to Syracuse.
So, and one more thing, we have a flight that we booked for the summer. Interestingly, I booked it about a month ago, and that flight has changed 3 times. And I don't know why, but they've changed the times 3 different times. I wonder why that's happening.
I am thinking that they have probably changed the aircraft.
Okay.
It can be going from a different size, hopefully, depending on where you're going. You don't need to tell your listening audience where you're going. Right. But if it's to a major city, they are probably upgrading the airplane because of everyone now booking flights.
Okay. And so that is what you're seeing now is a more increase in demand. And the more there's demand, the more flights that are going to be opening up?
Correct, and the larger the aircraft, because you're still flying into major airports, and the larger planes are parked on the side.
Okay.
The regional carriers like the one I fly for, Republic, we are doing probably 70% of the flying. Now with summer coming up, people being vaccinated, you're probably seeing a switch from an airplane of my size to a wide body that has 250, 270 passengers.
Okay. And so what I would ask you is when you look online to try to book your flight and you see there are only 2 seats left, you're like, oh, you got to be kidding me. But you're looking to fly in, let's say, August. You probably should be patient, because unlike before, where that meant that the flight is sold out, there aren't going to be any other flights. Today, it might mean something could open up at the end of May or open up in June.
Again, because they're going to go from 76 passenger jet that I'm on to a Boeing 737 that has 150 seats, or you can go up to an Airbus that has 260 seats. So you're going from 76 seat capacity to almost 200 more seats.
So I guess the message would be patient and keep checking on almost a daily basis if you're looking for something. It's
going to be interesting. It's supply and demand, and again, if the supply is up, then they're going to take those planes that are parked on the side with the engines capped, take those caps off the engine, do the maintenance, and again, you're going to go from a plane that has 76 seats to one that has 260 seats.
And then do you have time for me to ask all these questions? I'm very inquisitive today. Okay. So, sorry. Meanwhile, he's waiting to board a plane.
I'm on a 3-hour delay.
Okay, good. That's good.
I got 3 hours.
So, over the weekend, we learned that they are keeping the mask mandate on airplanes, right?
Yes, they are, till at least September.
Till at least September.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's another reason why I would not want to be on an airplane and have to fly a long flight overseas with a mask on the whole time.
Well, I mean, you get meals, right? You get to take your mask off during the meals.
I guess you do, yeah.
The international flights, you get meals. We are, giving we're handing out pretzels again. So you can take your mask off.
Eat a pretzel.
Now, I'm going to tell you a very interesting story. I had an older woman who has Alzheimer's was walking in with her son and daughter-in-law, and she didn't have the mask on. I said, you got to put the mask on. And her son said, she's got Alzheimer's. I said, okay, listen, just take your seat. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
Because she had Alzheimer's and her face was, she just didn't like the feel of the regular mask. So you know what? I gave her the paper mask. I said, give her the paper mask. She was able to put it on and kept it on. I'm getting a little upset with my fellow flight attendants, and you're seeing the national news of them kicking off a 2-year-old who doesn't have a mask on. And I say to myself, here's a lady who has Alzheimer's, who doesn't know what's going on. I'm kind, I'm considerate. I'm saying, let's look at the situation. I says, maybe give her a paper mask, and that's what worked. I just don't understand my fellow flight attendants or fellow humans with the mask situation. Take a step back, look at the situation, and don't go calling the mask police.
I got to tell you something, Jay. I was thinking about this coming in this morning because I had a few situations over the weekend where you're dealing with people in the position of power. When you think about that, you think people in the position of power. Well, that's a small number of people, right? Wrong. Everybody, you'd be shocked at the number of people who are in the position of power. Now, that might be you have people over your head, but there's somebody under you, or maybe it's just a customer, which places you in a position of power. I almost feel like the pandemic and people wearing masks has made them hide behind the mask to the point where rudeness is a given today. And I just think what you said, take a step back, use a little logic, and treat people the way you would like to be treated. Boy, I think we'd be a lot better off.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I just thought it's just frustrating for me when I see, I say the mask police, but I think everyone else feels the same way. It's like, take a step back. It's like when people are parked at the handicap spot and you say they're walking. Well, you don't know what is behind their disability.
Correct.
Okay, so it's like, well, wait a minute. I can see you walk. You don't have a cane. But they may have a disability that you and I don't know about.
Yep. I completely agree. And maybe we're better off if we just keep our nose out of everybody else's business. That probably would take us a long way, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I remember calling in and you'd sneeze at the grocery store, they'd say, God bless you. And then when COVID starts, they look at you like you're the devil.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like all of a sudden people who say God bless you are like muttering under their breath, like how it's like,
Yeah, well, God bless you has now turned into God, get him out of this store quickly.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. One other quick question, Jay, I wanted to ask you is your airline requiring vaccinations for employees or encouraging?
No, not yet. It's very interesting because, again, I'm with Republic Airways. We're a regional carrier, fly for American, Delta, and United. Once the majors, mainline, say, since you're doing flying for us, all your employees need to be vaccinated, we will. But no, there is no mandate as of now.
And have you gotten the vaccine as of yet?
I've been trying, and every time that I've been able to be home, it's by the time I figure out that the place is open, it's too late in the day because, I'm flying. What's interesting is I was exposed to a passenger in January who had the COVID. Mm-hmm. My union was supposed to inform me that I was exposed to a person who had it. My company was supposed to call me. The union never called me. The company gave me a non-required reading memo at the end of the month that I was exposed to a passenger on January 10th. I go to Rome. I have myself tested, and I'm COVID-free. I think, obviously, with everything. Good morning. How are you? Listen, I was given 6 to 12 months to live summer of 2005 with a melanoma tumor in the eye.
Wow.
So I'm 15, Bill, I'm 15 years past my expiration date. So I'm serious. I'm just thinking that I'm blind in my right eye. I had one of the rarest forms of cancer, melanoma tumor in the eye, 5 or 6 per million. So there's less than 2,000 of us in the United States who have it. Wow. I was legitimately given 6 to 12 months to live. Summer of 2005, a melanoma tumor, undiagnosed. I had it between 3 and 4 years. Goes to the liver. I should have had stage 3 or 4 liver cancer. I am literally 15 years past my expiration date.
Well, God bless you. So that's just an incredible story, and there you are coming in contact with people with COVID, and you don't get it. You wonder why. You really wonder why some people get it and some people don't. And I guess we'll find that out somewhere down the road, we hope. But we're not going to know it anytime soon. Yeah, that's it, because there is no rhyme or reason. Who gets it, who doesn't, who dies, who recovers, who has long-haul symptoms. Yep.
I'm fortunate. I'm COVID-free.
Good for you there, Jay. Thank you for the update. Great update today. And we're living and learning as we go along the way here.
Absolutely, and everyone, just be nice. Take a step back, like I do. There's more important things that you don't worry about. I
completely agree. All right, Jay. Thank you so much. Have a safe flight.
Have a great day, guys, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks.
Take care, Jay.
How about that, huh? And he's absolutely right. At some point, putting a little logic into play here might help all of us get along here and get through all of this.
So they removed a 2-year-old. I would assume, and the parents.
Well, what he's saying is that's been a news story. There are arguments over, a child that's not wearing a mask when there's a mask mandate, and what he's saying is a little bit of just a little bit of logic and decency will probably take us a long way right now.